Good evening, and thank you for tuning in. My name is Carissa DeShays, and this is my weekly podcast, Faith Over Fear. I'm so grateful and so honored to welcome Javonte Rose to my platform. Javonte, how are you doing?
I'm doing amazing. Hello.
Yes,
Hey,
yes.
everybody. How are you? How are you?
Doing so good. Thank you so much for being here. I know that we've kind of been planning this for some time, but
Long time.
as we were
Very
talking
long
before,
time.
like everything in the universe happens for a reason.
Yes.
So I feel like, there's a reason that we came into the space today, and whatever's meant to be shared. I always say if we're like helping one person a day, then we're making a difference in the world.
Absolutely. You never know who you can help or what anybody is going through. So I always say even like a hi, hello can change somebody's day or life.
No, 100%. And that's why, like, I think one of the biggest lessons I've learned in life is our story that we go through can become inspiration for other people.
other
So you can
people,
either stay
yeah.
a victim to your story, or you can take your story, motivate, and then inspire others with it.
Yeah. And that's why we're here today.
So you're coming from California, you just landed.
Yes.
Yes,
just
how is
landed.
life in California?
It's beautiful. Sun is shining every day.
It's like polar
it's just
opposite
like,
than the East Coast.
And I just took a video yesterday yesterday, and it was all sunny, shiny, 86 something. I'm about to go in the snow.
Is it perfect weather every day there, basically, or?
Pretty much.
Yeah, I love
Pretty
that.
much, yeah. We had snow like 3 weeks ago.
But it doesn't
Snow.
last very long.
We had rain 3 weeks ago.
Oh, okay.
For the first time in a while. But it was cool. It needed it. But it's always sunny.
So when was the last time you were here, like on the East Coast in Manchester? How long has it
Oh
been?
my! It's been like 4 or 5 years.
How does it feel being back? I know it's your first day. I know
like
you're just
4
getting.
years. Yeah, 4
like,
years. It's been a while. It feels good, different. The air, just the surroundings, but it feels good. I like coming back home and just seeing the people, seeing my family, and.
How does it feel? Because obviously we're going to get into your story a little bit, but the transformation that you've done. Because I know like certain places from my past that I'll go to, and I may have like memories there, and then I'm in that mindset of my elevation and coming back full circle. Like, what does that feeling bring out for you?
I just think it definitely elevates me to another level. It just it makes me feel good and kind of like understanding, this is where I came from, this is where I grew up. So where I'm at now in my life and just accomplishing a lot of my dreams and my goals, and then coming here today, it's just like, wow, like this is where I'm from and look where I'm at now. So it's a lot of happiness and gratefulness, and even motivation for myself too. Although like I came here to not just come here to motivate and inspire others, but also myself too. When I'm speaking to other people, I'm always speaking to myself at the same time.
I love that. So that was really like your mission coming back, as well as like spreading that inspiration, because I know you have like a full lineup of
Girl,
things
we
going on.
we booked and busy, you know what I'm saying? But now I always try to do, wherever I go, is always something about community, giving back, just uplifting and inspiring people that are around me, whether it's my friends going to do a public speaking or do an event. It's like I'm always trying to just keep that positivity going.
It's important. Yeah, it's important. And like we were talking about a little bit beforehand, you never know what one thing you say, one person that you hear, one thing you speak, how that's going to impact somebody. And then, you being from here, going out to California, which is like across the United States.
I think like me and Adam Sandler is the only ones that made it out and made a successful career. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, it's great.
So shout out to Adam Sandler. But yeah, no, all in all, I think the past few years though, I've really just like been sitting back to and just thinking like, okay, I have a whole community, and this is where I grew up, and like me giving back, just being involved with the youth and the kids and doing the school tour. It's like I could go home and do that too, so why not? A few years back, I was able to come home and speak to Parkside Middle School and uplift the kids and motivate them, and it was sixth, seventh, and eighth graders. I spoke to all of them, and I was able to do it through, my teacher through high school.
Oh, no way.
Yeah.
It was the
So,
same teacher?
Yes,
I
yes,
love
yes.
that.
So she was there for me when I was going through my struggles
That's cool.
and my upbringing. when I needed, food and clothes to wash washer to wash my clothes and laundry and all that stuff, she was there. And so she ended up getting me to go speak at Parkside Middle School. That's what I did.
That's a really wholesome moment. She must have been like so proud of you and to see that growth.
It was beautiful. It was just like the kids were happy. Everybody was grateful. She was smiling. It was just, it was a good time. And so now we spoke, which is funny because now she's going to be my special guest. Yes, because we're also going to be speaking at my turn January 8th.
Okay, cool.
So
yeah, that's amazing. And My Turn's incredible. So the fact that you were able to connect with them, shout out to My Turn.
Yeah, it's My Turn. You already know the vibes.
Yes,
hey.
Carl and it's such an incredible organization for the youth. And so I love that you're helping the youth because nowadays with social media and certain influencers or just, I always tell my daughter one thing I teach my kids is to be kind to others because not every kid gets to go home to love. That's one thing that I teach my kids. So
that's true.
From you going in there and like talking to them, again, it just kind of shows them you can do anything. It doesn't matter your upbringing. It doesn't matter what, struggles you may be facing. You can put your mind to something and create who you want to be.
Yeah, I took my childhood and my negativity, everything that I went through, and I turned it into just a positive thing. Like I could have been one of those kids that been through, suicide or committed suicide or wanted to just give up on life. And no, I knew I was destined to be somebody bigger. And I've always just written in a journal every single day, and like I would write. Like,
do you still write?
To be honest, I write, but I don't write in a journal like I used to write. Back then, I was young, and I was like, I need a family, so I gotta write to somebody. It's like, bring me to somebody. And so I just was writing, and eventually one day it happened. But now I just write like my thoughts, pretty much my day-to-day things. Just, I still like to write, even when I'm planning out like music videos, performances, just anything that I'm doing really. I would still like to write it. Just
That's
so I
awesome.
can see it and like
it's a visual thing. And like a form of manifestation kind of really, because if you write it down and you have that visual and you see it, then you believe it. Yeah, until you have it.
That's why I always say like even at night too, well actually one thing that I mentioned in one of my engagements that I do, my speaking engagements is you write in, either you want to write in a journal, write on a piece of paper, write anything, but write all your beliefs, your accomplishments, or your goals, whatever you want to do, or your manifestation, affirmations. You write them at night, and then you wake up in the morning and you read them the same way. Right before you go to bed, you write them down, you read it, and then when you wake up, again, that way it's in your mind.
And it sets the tone for your day on a positive note. Yeah, they say like the first hour of how you start your day like sets you up for like the rest of your day, and I noticed that. Like,
and
if
that's
I do
really important. Yeah.
I'm like good, but if I wake up and I like hop on social media or like I'm rushing getting the kids ready or I'm like rushing to get ready, like if I wake up an hour before everybody else and I sit in silence with myself, I'm calm.
Yeah.
It's like a totally different thing.
There's been days I've had both of them because girls nights and meditated and good.
Right.
And there's days I just woke up and I'm like I'm on go.
Right.
So it's just
you gotta do what you gotta do.
It's
part of being human.
Okay, and that's life.
So bringing it back to your childhood and like growing up and then obviously elevating, moving out to California, whatever you feel comfortable talking about, does you feel led to that breakthrough of you wanting to just fully, commit to the truth within yourself?
So we were all split up when we was younger. My mom, I'm a sibling of 5. So same mom, different dads, all different nationalities. And we were all split when we was younger. So I went with my aunt, and then everybody else went with, who they went with. Living with my aunt, it was just a totally different upbringing. She was very mother-oriented, family, loving, caring, birthdays, dinners, just everything you could do with your child.
How old were you when you went with your aunt?
I was with her before kindergarten. I definitely know, like 3 or 4 years. As I can recall, it was 2nd grade is when I went back with my mom because I was Beach Street School. Yeah, so I remember that. And that was right around the corner, girl. So it wasn't too far. And yeah, I remember just being with my aunt in that amount of time. But it was a really like life-changing thing at a young age too, you know. Just learning morals and respect and mannerism, how to treat people, how to love and be kind and understand. She taught me a lot of that at that young age. And I just remember like going back with my mom and seeing that different lifestyle. It just, to me, learning that and living, you know, with my aunt, which is my second mom, is like, wow, it's a drastic change.
Of course.
It's going from country to hip hop.
Right.
You know, it's going from not swearing to swearing. And then, like, dealing with birthdays and loving and this, to dealing with her man and whatever things were happening in life, that life moment. So it was just really different, and I didn't understand it, but I didn't like it at the same time.
Which makes
so
sense.
I've always spoken out and was like, this is not cool, like you don't talk to somebody like this or do that. So
And did you stay in contact with your aunt when you relocated back with your mom?
from here and there, but not that I can really honestly like even
Remember,
remember
you were
it, to
young
be honest.
too.
And I just know like going back, I even remember there was one point in time where my aunt wasn't even, I didn't speak to her for a while in my childhood because she didn't like the way my mom was treating her kids and being the way she was. So my aunt kind of like just distanced herself, and you know, but just dealing with all that stuff, just, you know, I kept it in, and that's why I wrote in a journal, because that was like my only like safe haven to like really let go of everything that I was going through inside. And you know, I just, one day I was like, I want to share with the world. Like, this is what I want to do. I want to give back. I want to share my story. I want to let them know, like, you can be somebody. You can do something. You can be yourself, no matter who you are, what size, what color, whatever. 2016 is when I built my organization and I started everything. And from there, I've just been elevating and doing things and just really giving back and being involved with the community. And
So you moved to Cali in 2016.
Yeah.
And that's when you left.
Mm-hmm.
And was California like kind of a place that was
I
always
left,
on your...
No, I left Manchester way before that.
Oh, okay.
Oh, yeah, girl. I don't know. I've been
Okay.
on my own since I was 15.
Okay,
Yeah,
okay.
I've been out. And I ain't never been back or moved back. Yeah, I've been back. I ain't never moved back. And from there, I moved to... I was in New York for a little bit. Boston, then New York, and then Miami to California.
And you've just kind of stayed in California the whole time. And then music, was that something that you were like always into, or is that kind of something that just crossed your path as you started your
I've always
career?
been into music. I felt like I was a DJ. I remember back in the day, I was the guy that made the CDs with the LimeWires and the parties and the house parties.
Yeah,
You remember that? You remember that? Sis? Yeah, I was DJ Blue. I was like J Vibes in the building. So I've always been into like the entertainment and
That's
the
awesome.
dancing and the vibe. Like I was a hype guy, and I am the hype guy. Don't play with it. Always and still will be the hype guy. And so, but it's funny because I moved to California within my modeling career.
Okay.
So I wasn't even doing music.
So was
when
modeling
I
the first thing that kind of like took off for you?
Like,
Okay.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, of course. I started in Boston. I did nude art, and there I just did swimwear, underwear, streetwear, high fashion, everything.
Which one was your favorite, do you think?
Underwear?
Do you still...
Underwear and swimwear, though.
And you still model. I mean, I see your pictures that you post, which is...
Now I do. Now it's more like streetwear, fashion, you know, because I work with a lot of brands and stuff, so I don't really give too much of that low.
So do you feel like a lot of your building was networking? Do you think it was a lot of like putting yourself out there, reaching out to different companies?
It's the time and dedication and what you want to put. I built everything that I have and put out that everybody can see, from an interview, a podcast, a brand collaboration, of this and that. I did it. Magazine covers everything. I did no management, no nothing. I started with buying products from celebrities and artists before I got big, and I used to model in New York, and I would hit up a photographer, a videographer, and I'm like, yo, I'm gonna work, let's collab and do this. And my biggest one was Amber Rose,
Okay,
which
cool.
she started back 6 years ago, whatever. I was posted on her page, and she had about 18 million followers, so I got a big, drastic following from that. And I remember I was in Arizona, And my cousin had called me. She's like, "Yo, you see you blasted all over Amber Rose's page and da da da." And that was when that happened. But I've always reached out to like just brands and put in my own photo shoots together before I started actually working with them.
I love that. Yeah, and I feel like that's like a huge part of basically like what my podcast is called, Faith Over Fear, because even when I had started this podcast, I have the gift of gab. My whole family says it. Like my mom's like, "You're the last one, first one in market basket, last one out." And it's a gift. I love talking to people. But long story short, I was just having a discussion with my friend. I said, "I think I'm going to start a podcast." And he's like, "Do it." And I'm like, "I don't know where to start." So I started doing research, and then I started networking with people that were close to me. And then I kept doing it. Next thing I know, I have people from Chicago hitting me up. I have people that are from other countries getting in touch with me. I'm interviewing people like yourself and just so many different people. But I love that you said that, because one of the biggest things with believing in yourself, or faith over fear in general, is once you push past that and you reach out to somebody and just put yourself, I mean, what's the worst that's going to happen?
Is a no.
Or a no response, but that's okay.
You just gotta keep going.
And I think when you change your thinking, at least for myself, as opposed to like rejection, because I went through that in my life where I'm like, oh my gosh, poor me, it's rejection. It's like, it's not meant for me at that time, and maybe this way or this connection or this networking experience will be right for me in that moment.
I've been through millions of no's,
right.
And it's just, I've never let it stop me. At the end of the day, I always say at the end of the day, I'm gonna just keep going, I'm gonna keep pushing, and I'm gonna circle back with you in 6 months.
Right, exactly.
There's been a lot of podcast interviews, videos, just people that, even brands I've reached out to, and they're just like, "No, I'll reach back to you in 6 months." And then I got some. And then there's some that say yes and no, maybe. But at the end of the day, it's like, if this is what I want, I'm going to go at it and I'm going to do it. And I think people, which is faith over fear, it's like people have that fear in them where it's like, once they feel rejected, it's like their life just kind of gives up, or they don't want to do it again. Yeah. It's like, no, just that rejection maybe can be, okay, let me change my route, or let me change my thought, or how I went into whatever I went into, let me try to change it up a little bit.
And the more you do that, the easier it gets.
So it's like, just because you had that first time doesn't mean that it's actual.
Right. Because even last year, like with my podcast, I was on it for like 2 years consistently. And I was doing it at a professional studio, kind of had to separate myself from that. And then I was like, oh my gosh, okay, well, this is my platform. This is my brand. So what do I need to do to start it back up myself? I'm like, okay, get an office space. Okay, use my laptop. Find a software that is professional that I can use. But even last year, I had gone through some things in my life. I had lost my grandmother. She was like my second mom. Thank you. And she passed away in like 4 weeks due to pancreatic cancer. So it was so detrimental. And then here I am having to get on a platform and like inspire people and be positive. And I was just like, I'm not feeling this. Yeah. This is not. But you know what? Yeah. But you know what? One thing that the universe showed me and like God showed me in that moment is I was still getting messages like, hey, I'm interested in being on your podcast. So I'm like, I still have a mission that I have to accomplish.
You gotta do. Yeah. It's not just you, it's other people.
It's other people.
This is what you started.
Right.
So now you started it, now you have to keep going through it.
And there could be people waiting every week to hear it because they're like, oh my gosh, this is the only thing getting me through. But it's the same thing with you, like with what you're doing on your mission, your post. I guarantee you there's stuff. I mean, you inspire me. I think what you're doing is incredible. I think for you to be from Manchester, because I think so many people get stuck here with that same like working. And I'm not, and I don't want this to sound judgmental when I say this, because like I know and you know how hard it is to get up every day, to have to pay bills, to go to work, especially if you got a family, responsibilities, car payment, rent, mortgage, kids, mouths to feed, including yourself. Like, it's hard, and things are hard right now, especially in our world, the way society is, all this pressure, it's crazy, but it's so important to find that voice inside of you of what your passion is. I always tell people, like, if you chase the money, you're going to be disappointed every time, but if you chase your purpose or you chase your passion, that's where you find your purpose. And then the money is going to naturally come. So if you chase your passion, you'll find your purpose. Right.
I'm chasing both of them though, what I'm saying?
But you can't get focused on one obsessively. You have to give yourself grace. You have to,
you gotta be you just gotta be positive and pray and manifest and just like I think just be all in all just a good rounded hearted person.
Do you think
You know?
leaving and being in the environment that you're in has helped that balance, like, within your life? Like, do you think California has helped you to, I don't want to say maintain that positivity, but elevate that positivity?
I think everything I've been through just helped me maintain everything.
Yeah.
It's like not just California. It's me being on my own at 15, moving to Boston, trying to find a family, building my best friends right here, building my family, then moving from there, going to New York to Miami, living a fast life, doing this. I always had to maintain everything.
Right.
So, you know, it's not just like coming from here. I had to be tough. I had to be strong. I had to never give up. I had to show purpose within myself in order to just keep going too, and also help other people.
And then when you get to speak to the youth, you must see, like, when these people are listening to you, I'm sure you can tell by their faces, like, how meaningful it is.
When I went to Parkside too, and I've in LA I do a school tour, so we do on their lunch break we speak. We don't speak though. That's the thing. I want to start my own school tour. And I only went LA school tour. I performed during their lunch breaks. So now this year I want to start my own, you know, doing my own thing. I spoke with Parkside. It was just wonderful to see all the youth and just the kids just being so happy and just running up and cheering and smiling and signing everything, asking questions, and being so involved and intuitive. It's like, it's just like, wow.
Yeah, it's huge. Like I said,
and
it's
the more and more I do it, it's like, okay, this is what I really love doing.
Yeah, and that's like what you're meant to be doing. I feel like it's like confirmation, like at least for myself, like even when I do my podcast, there's been days that I was so stressed out. I was like apprenticing in a hair salon, and then I'm like working, and then I have my kids and I'm dropping them off, but I still got to make my podcast. As soon as I put my headphones on, I hear somebody's voice and they're telling their story, and I'm like, so when you're speaking and you're saying the more I do it, the more I'm like elevating, the more I'm amped, and you have this passion, like that's, I feel like part of your purpose, like you're like everything you're doing is helping other people.
I try,
and like such a beautiful way.
I just, so I'm always just staying positive and just focused, but even with my social media too, I was doing a lot more like inspirational videos and motivational videos. However, I juggle a lot. I try to just let my audience and my fans and the Blue Thorns and everybody know, like, I'm here. I'm here to do this. I'm just trying to show them and give them bits and pieces of things, but also really more often just really diving more deep into my life and getting to know who I am.
It's beautiful.
And so I'm delivering the message in just different interviews, different podcasts. We just got on the cover with Thrive Magazine.
Congratulations.
The Neighborhood Talk, we got on there. It's been a lot of good things are really, really happening. So we just keep
what you put out in the world comes back to you. Like 100%. That's why, like, even they say how you speak about yourself and how you speak about others, it's so important. And like I never used to believe this until I went on my journey of like spiritual awakening and like being connected to myself. And one thing I love that you said is like creating your own family.
Well, yeah,
because
before the creating your family, but that self-love, build within yourself. Know who you are, know what you want, know what you believe in, know where you want to go. Not even, you don't even have to know where you want to go, because sometimes we're all fucked up and going all over the place.
100%.
Sorry for swearing.
No, you're right.
But sometimes we don't know where, and it's where I always say life is a roller coaster
100%.
because we're always going up and down. You never know when you're gonna get off.
Right.
And you're gonna get off, and it's gonna be okay.
Right, and whatever's meant for you is gonna happen.
It's gonna happen
for you because like my life that I had planned out when I'm 30. We'll say 19 was completely different
than what
I have now. If you would have told me that I would have gone through addiction or codependency or suicidal ideations, like trying to overdose or having 2 kids by the age of 30, I would have looked at you and I would have been like, I probably would have laughed and then maybe cried, but been like, you're out of your mind. But I understand, like, I experienced homelessness. I had gone through all these experiences that led me to the woman I am today. And now that I have like everything I have in my life I prayed for, I have a roof over my head, I have kids back in my custody, you know, I have a car, I have a good job, I have myself, and I'm content with myself. And my circle is very small. I can count on my hand how many people I really, if you want to talk about trust, maybe one person, but I can count on my hand how many people that are in my circle. I used to be very out there, post everything on social media. I'm very open on my podcast, but I'm very private now within my life, and it's brought me so much peace and love, and like to stand in your power and to know who you are. And like, so when you say that, I'm like, I feel you on that, because
congratulations.
Thank you, and to you too.
And it's hard, you know. I don't know that side of life too much, you know, as far as like I've had family members and, you know, people go through addiction
of course.
but I wasn't really involved, you know. I don't know. It's like, first of all, our family's fucked up anyway. So it's like, then we fucked up family, then we got a drug addiction family, then we got this and that. So it was like too much of going on. I was already dealing with a lot of my personal life going on in LA. So I'm like, you know, but I think about it a lot too. So like, I really applaud people in recovery because, you know, they've been through a lot too. And me going through what I've been through as far as like not feeling loved or feeling bullied and accepted. Drug addicts go through that too. You know, they're not feeling like, okay, well, either they don't feel this type or they don't feel that way, so I'm going to shoot this or I'm going to take that so I could feel okay. But I just applaud a lot of them that go through and get out of it. Congratulations to you, because it's hard.
Well,
I've heard a lot of stories, and I think it's really just amazing to see people really shine and like they're like, I don't want to do this, I don't want to shoot that needle or take that drug or do that, you know.
One of my favorite things about like doing this type of work is like, you know, meeting people like yourself and then hearing your story and things that you've overcome and what you're doing. And one thing I've learned about humanity as a whole is that we are all so different yet similar in a way that we all have a story. We could all have gone through similar things. We have different perspectives on them, but then you hear how people got through it. And I love that because, you know, the point of me sharing what I shared was when you talked about gratitude. For me, I had to go through those experiences. Like, I don't have regrets. That I have really hard times? Are there things that maybe like I wish I could have approached differently? 100%. But I understand that it made me who I am. Right. It's life. You know, and we all have a past. We've all been through things. We all have different perspectives, but it's like, you know, even when you think about childhood trauma, because, you know, I worked in like mental health and I did all these things, and like a lot of the things, especially with addiction, stem back to childhood trauma. And I always tell people, like, what you go through as a child is not your fault, but as adults, it's our responsibility to heal from. And so part of that with me is sharing my story, being open and helping others heal. And it seems like, you know, with what you're doing and sharing to the youth is really beautiful as well. It's very powerful.
Exactly. You know, I wasn't one of them, I wasn't too beaten, you know, like as far as being with about being this. I just didn't feel sometimes loved and accepted and wanted, and I was coming within my own family, my sibling, even being bullied in my sexuality and just like me being myself, my character. But it just never stopped me, and I built that self-love at such a young age because I know that I was going to be something destined to be something just bigger and greater. And following your truth,
increase that self-love for yourself. And then when you start seeing things like, even when you talked about your modeling career, right? So that builds your self-love a little bit because you're like, oh my gosh, I did this. And then you ended up...
Oh, that camera was always going to be my best friend. Let me tell you. Since I was a kid, it was always going to do something. But
just following your dreams, and it builds your self-love. And then when you see, you know, you push yourself and then you see the results of that, it makes you be able to be proud of yourself because you're like, oh my gosh, I created this. Oh my gosh, it worked. Like I said, even if, and obviously you're reaching a much larger scale than one person, but that's why I always revert to, and I know it sounds kind of funny, but if you're reaching one person a day, like for me, I'm doing my job. Like if I help one person reaches out to me, or if someone's just like, hey, like, thanks for listening to me today. Like, I just really needed someone to listen to me.
But you never know, because it's always can be a ripple effect. Like, you helping out that one person could then tell that one other person or that work person, then it just goes.
Yeah, it's like the
down
butterfly
line
effect that they talk about.
Yeah,
I think so.
no,
Yeah, I think so. Yeah,
butterfly ripple, it's all going
butterfly,
down.
Yeah.
But you just never know who's watching,
Right.
who's listening,
Right.
or who's getting the information.
Fun.
So that's why every day you just gotta just be yourself, be confident, do what you want to do, whatever your purpose is, and just be out there, be kind, and stay positive, just stay positive within it all. And I know sometimes it's hard, but life is a roller coaster.
It is. Yeah, 100%. And that bad moment will pass. It's like temporary, Everything is good, better, and different. It's temporary, so you just have to find the silver lining in each moment.
You might hang up there a little bit long, but you're gonna go down a little bit.
You'll go down. Yeah. You'll be neutral grounded
eventually.
eventually.
I always say that. It's just like up and down, up and down.
So I know you talked about My Turn, and then you get to interview your school teacher. Or is she the special guest? She's gonna speak as well.
She will be speaking. So we have it's the empowerment impact session that we have, which is what I put together, and it's a storytelling, uplifting, motivational, inspiring session where I'll be talking about my childhood, my story, the brand, the organization, and then I produced and directed a short film that goes with I'm Here, which is the organization. Also my book, Behind the Blue Eyes, I'm Here. Then I'll show that presentation, and then we have my special guest, which is my teacher from high school that she'll be speaking. And then we'll end it with the performance.
I love that. And is that at the My Turn location?
The first one, January 8th is at My Turn. The second one, January 9th. So we're back to back now.
Okay.
Just got booked for another one. So, we out here, feeding the kids and what to do. But that one's going to be at the Rhythm and Roots studio.
Okay.
Yeah, somewhere, it's out here.
Okay, it's in Manchester.
So, it's in Manchester. Both 3 to 5 p.m. Come, have a good time, enjoy.
That's awesome.
Get back. We got gifts, games,
It's exciting.
all that. So, I'm really, really excited. And I'm just so grateful to be able to come back and do it again.
Yeah, it's huge. Especially around this time of year, too. I love that.
Yeah, I'm glad it's happening around this time.
Yeah, it worked out perfectly. But in
general,
right?
it's because I really want to start my school tour, my own Blue Rose school tour. And we are going to start it.
You will.
Yeah.
You will.
This year. And just being able to come back and having these connections and being involved. We have the YMCA, the Boys and Girls Club, the Girls Incoming. All these organizations will be coming out. So it's going to be good to be able to present my story and be able to tell just my upbringing. And
it's a movement.
Yeah.
It's a movement.
That's
I love that.
what we're here for,
And when did you come out with your book?
2018.
Okay.
2018 we came out, Behind the Blue Eyes, I'm Here. It's on Amazon, it's on Walmart. My website, The Blue Rose, BLUROZ.com. But girl, actually, you don't have to order it because I already got you.
No way.
Yeah, you already know. The Blue Rose comes with everything, baby. So you already know.
And I brought it up. That was meant to be.
And
it's in a
yes,
blue bag.
you got you a little something.
That's so nice.
So my book is on Amazon, Walmart, my website.
Look at that.
Yes,
That's so nice. Thank you so much.
Of course.
That's so nice.
Yeah,
you just made my day. I'm I'm gonna order it. You're like, hold on, I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank
of
you
course,
so
you already
much.
know, yeah.
So everybody, this is the book Behind the Blue Eyes. I'm Here. Make sure you check it out. How was writing this? How was that process for you?
5 years.
Oh my gosh. And this is your...
It was 5 years. I was living in, Miami, started, and I was going back and forth with me and my manager, and we just, every day she would be like, hey, what's going on? 2011, you graduate high school. 2013, what happened? 2014, what happened? And we were just going back and forth every day.
I love this.
And she's like, you okay with this? Yes, let's put it in. We send it to the editor.
I love that. And it has pictures of you, obviously,
so
throughout
this
the
is
years.
girl, look at this. What I'm telling you, I used to write in a journal. Let me show. So this is my old manager. Shout out to Sharon, girl, Sharon. I love her. I actually got a car and let her know that I'm here. Picture.
Look at you.
No, I just want to show you so we could get back, see what's going on. Look at the cute little guy right there. So look at it. Journal.
That was your journal. That's cool. And this was 5 years.
1999. This is when Javonte continues to struggle with his issues of respect with authority.
Was this from school?
Yeah, girl, I was a little brat.
Oh my gosh.
I was trying. I couldn't pay attention.
So what inspired you to start a book for yourself? This is really, I mean, I love that.
Like I said, I've always wanted to share my story, so I'm going to share it through my voice, through a written book.
And like what, I don't know, I feel like
everything.
freedom to do that because like, I don't know, for myself and just hearing you, and I don't want to say this is like how you were feeling, but what you talked about, like journaling, like to feel silenced and like not like accepted or loved for so long, and now being able to break free on all platforms and have a book, and like not only that, but how brave of you to like faith over fear, how brave of you to put your journals in here and like pictures and that vulnerability.
Yeah,
that's strange.
My mom didn't like it.
Yeah,
there's some shit that was going on in here, but at the end of the day, I told her this is my story,
and that's part of your healing.
This is my my healing, what I'm going through.
Right.
You know, I've already accepted you and forgave you. What you put me through, this is why I wrote this book.
Right.
You know, so let me write my story and share my part.
Sometimes it's hard for people to like
understand
look
that,
at themselves
even,
and I've learned like even with my mom, like, and I love you 100% mom, but like
love you, man.
Yeah.
Love you, Karen, girl. You already know the vibes. So you up there. Come on.
But like my mom and I, she liked the color purple. I like the color red. We had even still have such a relationship like this. Yeah. And so one thing I've learned, like in my immense process with her, is there's only so much I can do. I can only continue to show up the best way I know how to, but I cannot control how other people perceive things or how they respond to things. So if that's what happens, then I learned to love people from a distance and not take it personally. But I love what you said, because you have to speak your truth, and that's one thing I've learned too, is no matter what, I have to speak my truth. And so that's important. That's how you heal. And when we speak, we heal.
It's vice versa between the humans, because if y'all, whether who it is, but you should understand each other, you know, and
100%.
It's like there shouldn't be no like clashing or anything. I think as humans in general, I think we overthink too.
Of course.
And overthink our relationships, overthink who we can even be ourselves.
Of course.
So like when we're in a relationship with another human being, whether it's a friend, a boyfriend, girlfriend, or this or that, mom, auntie, I think they just think of the label to it, where it's like, okay, well, you're my best friend, so you gotta be treated this way, do that. You're my mom, so you gotta be treated this way.
Do you think that's our own expectations being put on another person?
I think one is a generation, or what do you call it, generation pass down thing, whatever. To I mean, I don't know. I just always thought you're a human, I'm a human. I treat you with respect, you treat me with respect.
Right, I agree.
You know, whether you're mom, auntie, sister, best friend, it don't matter.
I agree.
You know, so now that's a lot of things. That's one of the reasons why me and my mom always clash too, because I've always just like, if you're not going to respect me or understand me, then I'm not going to give you.
Right.
I'm not going to give you that either.
Right. And I think it's like important too, to which what you talked about is like forgiveness. And you know, after losing my grandmother and then like losing my dad, those relationships to me, like my dad and I were closer as I got older, and then my grandma was like my second mom. So for me, that taught me how precious life was. And so ever since those experiences for myself, I had such a different view on life, in a way of, even if someone can't be in my life because they may not be healthy for me, because I protect my peace, I've learned to let go of resentment and love that person from a distance. And so when my mom and I clash, even today, and she may say something, I'm sorry you feel that way, that's not my truth, and I love you. And that's it. But this is my boundary I have, you know? Right, and so I think the more, which goes into like what you're doing when you grow within yourself and you stand in your power and you learn who you are, you can kind of learn to separate that. But it's human nature too. It's like we get emotional, and sometimes we get, especially if our feelings are involved, and we...
Those feelings definitely can take over, you know?
And I still have it, but then it's like, what do we do in that moment, right? So like, even if those feelings take over, we may step aside, reflect, and then go back forward, depending on the situation, at least for me. You know, so everything's a learning experience, and one thing that's helped me too is looking at you. You're human, I'm a human. We're both in this life. This life journey is not forever. you're experiencing this journey for the first time, and so am I. So when I can see that, and it kind of is like, okay, he's learning, I'm learning, I have more compassion for people, because I'm like, it's okay, they're still elevating. What can I teach them to help them elevate? Because we're all on this journey, but just in separate walkthroughs, but we're in it together.
Yeah.
And that kind of gives me compassion towards people, to not like want to bug out, or like, you know, just be.
Yeah. No, I love that. It's very positive.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah, we're just human, and we're on this journey. It's life. We're learning. Everything's a lesson. Like literally everything. You know, we meet people. It's a blessing or a lesson, and that's it. And some people are meant to stay for a season. Some people are meant to stay for a lifetime. And you know, so I know, but it's gratitude. You know, so. I know you have a lot going on this week. You're doing My Turn. What else are you doing while you're here? I know you're here kind of for like a short time.
January 8th, we have My Turn. January 9th, we have the Youth Complex. I'll be up in New York. January 4th for an interview.
That's awesome.
Yeah, just visiting the family. And
nice.
Yeah, I'm going to show my new show, Slayers, that we just landed on, you know.
Congratulations. How was that experience? Do you get like nervous when you're on TV, or is it like...
Maybe like the first couple hours, honestly, like
and
going
then you get
into
used
a house.
to it.
It's funny because that first day when you walk into the house, or not just Slayer's house, but any show that I've been on, after a few hours you feel like you know them forever. It's like so weird how just the
like
house,
the people,
the people, the castmates, and everyone. Is just hanging out and vibing. But what I love too, Slayers were actually that what I just landed on. Shout out to, you know, Tiffany Pollard, TV, Daddy TV, you know, the vibes. Slayers is out right now, episode 1 through 7. So make sure y'all download it and subscribe and tune in to your boy Javonte Rose.
Where is it available on?
On Out TV.
Okay.
Out TV, OUT TV. But that experience was actually pretty crazy because we were competing for $35,000.
Yeah, that's serious.
And didn't know exactly what we were really kind of like walking into, but a competition.
So they didn't tell you.
Not
so you didn't know
too much of details.
Just enough
to
get
get
you there.
Exactly, you know.
Make it sound good. You're
and then we ended up finding out Tiffany was going to be the host, so everyone gagged. It was cool though. I love how they brought different characters and diverse walks of life. I'm sure it was a queer show. But, you know, pansexual like myself, gays, lesbians, trannies, all that, everything. Everybody was there. We was all getting up in there, you know, so we was all competing. But I loved it because I don't think I've ever even seen a show that was just all gays, especially a competition, a game show.
Yeah, I love that.
Really competing and going out, getting in the mud, having to think and strategize. Like, girl, I left high school a long time ago.
I know.
Which I ain't read a book in a long time besides my own book.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But just to go back and being in that environment was like, wow. Okay, I remember going to camp and meeting people that I don't know. I remember going to camp and playing games and doing things. So I really, really enjoyed it.
Cool.
And like, it kind of opened my eyes to like, okay, now I got to think about this. We got to do this.
It's like almost like bring out like inner child in a way.
Yeah, in a way with the adult because we're competing. We're winning. But then two, it's like, okay, now you're here to even learn. Like I'm learning myself to be a team player. I'm learning how to be interactive with other kinds of people. You know, I just learned things too, and every day we learn. So, but it was a really good experience overall.
How long were you guys together for? What was the duration of the filming for that?
It was a little while.
Yeah, it was a while.
It was a little while. Too much, could say too much.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a little while. And that was out. It was good, and it's been a really good momentum across Instagram, Facebook. I hit 15 million views.
That's awesome. So, I know when you were posting the reels, I was like seeing the numbers. One was like 147K. There was another one that you said 15 million. I didn't see that one, but I saw that
across the Instagram and Facebook. I'm there to combine.
Mine does that too. Yeah.
And then. Yeah, it's just been really
that's
good.
Huge.
Really,
yeah,
really
that's
good.
huge. That show was a hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And just got a lot of good response. I got some articles, some press from that. And we have a lot of things.
And the reels are good too, because the reels show you just enough, because I got into it on my phone
Not too
scrolling.
much, but just a little bit.
And then I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm like, he's on a show and I'm watching. And then the guy, it was you and another guy talking, and he's like, you're like, no, this is a game show. We're competing. He's like, no, but you know your shit. And I'm like, oh, this is so good. So I scroll up and I'm like, then I see the dragon come out and the wheel spinning. I'm like, oh my gosh, I gotta watch this.
And then there's another, right, yeah.
You're not even on the show before you watch like all the reels because you're just so zoned in.
Yeah.
So yeah, those are definitely good promotion for sure. It always captures the right moments. But no, that's awesome. It's good that you're like doing so many different like diverse things with your music, and then you know the shows and the public speaking, and then you know you are an author on top of that.
Yes,
like that's huge.
Just love it all.
That's good.
I love it all. And I always say, like, don't close yourself in. Don't put yourself in a box. If you want to go out and do something, if you want to be somebody, if you want, what's that song? If you want to be somebody, if you want to go somewhere, you better wake up and pay attention. Okay? That right there, Sister Act, that's what's going on.
I love that.
You know?
Like it just got
but
myself.
you know, that's it. You want to be somebody, go somewhere, you got to get up and go active and get out there and do it.
Yeah.
Whatever it is, you know?
Yeah.
And you could have multiple talents, multiple careers, multiple everything. You know, nowadays you need multiple streams of income.
No, 100%. Yeah.
So why not do this and
like
do that?
social
and do
media
this,
makes it
you
so
know?
easy.
Yeah.
And I mean, and you know, because you do it yourself and you have a lot, but marketing and the time for editing, like it's very
I
time.
do it all myself.
It's time consuming.
Yeah,
it's a lot.
yeah.
It's a lot. It's like it's basically a full-time job,
Yeah.
you know? So you'll be up late doing it. So the 3-hour sleep thing, like, God bless. I
Oh,
get it. Yeah.
no. Mind you, we got in. I'm like, I still gotta edit. Can I get the Wi-Fi? She's like, yeah, 6 o'clock in the morning. But here you go.
But everybody's on social media, so it's created a place like back in the day. I mean, they used to have to, and you still have to go out and do it, but social media has connected so many people.
Yeah.
Like you said, being posted on Amber Rose's Instagram, that's fucking incredible. I love her. But that brought,
shout out to my vibe.
Yes,
you know the
yes.
vibes, baby. Hey.
but that like brought you more people, and then
Yeah.
even with you posting, and then even with the poster you posted, like people were brought to my Instagram. So it's really just full circle of connection within social media, which is really cool. But yeah, no,
It's all about just coming together. You know, I think people think about it, and me, I don't have a problem with supporting and promoting and putting anybody on my page or anything like that. You know, it's about coming together and just creating that magic in that moment.
for sure.
You know, I think a
Absolutely.
lot of other people just think like, okay, well, I'm not gonna post some, or I'm not gonna do this because they either got too many or too little, or they're too this or too that of something, or I'm too good of that. But it's like, no. If we're,
That
it's
stunts
like-
your growth though, as
Yeah,
a person.
you know,
like that's your growth.
I don't care about that. We here building it together, so let's promote
Elevate
and do
together.
everything. Yeah,
for sure.
you know?
Because there's room for
Um,
everybody. Because even if I was going, and I will in the future, but I wanted to start a clothing brand for my podcast, and I remember reaching out to people who had clothing brands, and I was like, hey, how'd you do it? Hey, can we sit down? Can we meet for coffee? I'd love to kind of pick your brain and see. Yeah, I'll get back to you. Oh, I know. We'll talk. Then, but they'd respond, and then they wouldn't respond. Then they respond.
Yeah.
I'll only hit you up twice, and then I won't, because I value myself. And so I think, like you said, some people look at people as competition. For me, or a fear of losing out. For me, it's like you can be an esthetician. I can be an esthetician. We both have different views. You can look at a painting, and I can. We'll see different things, but might see similar. So there's room for all of us to.
Also, they don't like to even give their information.
Right.
It's not even about the like competition. It's about even just like giving that. Oh, this is where I got it from.
Right.
Now, if they know where I got it from, okay. They, you know, something. It's so funny.
Right.
It's so funny, but at the end of the day, you just gotta reach out to the next person.
Right.
Reach
Right.
out to,
And the right.
and
person.
girl, Google.
I know.
Now with the AI
And
and the meta and the
ChatGPT,
chat
yeah.
and the IA
It'll
and the
create a
way,
whole thing.
girl, you could do all of it.
Yeah.
So that's it. All
Find you a
gotta
brand.
do is,
Yes. So
you
this
know?
was before that.
Before
was
that,
like the,
yeah.
yes,
So
yes.
you good.
Now you can put ChatGPT, making you sound like a lawyer. You know, sending emails like a professional.
Yeah,
Everything it does it for
right.
you. Yeah, it's great.
I'm saying that's good, guys.
Right. No, definitely still do things for yourself,
Okay.
100%. Yeah. But no, it's been an honor, and like I'm so grateful that we finally like got to sit and talk. Like after all this time, I know that it's been a while, but you know, I'm honored to be able to sit here with you, and thank you for reaching out.
No, it's
you
a
know,
blessing,
and you're
you
like
know.
so humble, which I love. Like I think that's so important, and obviously, you know, you have good people around you, and you have a great head on your shoulders, because I think it's so easy to for anybody, like you said, to be in a negative headspace or just get influenced. You've always just been super humble, and I appreciate your time and, you know, being willing to come on my platform and share your love.
Yeah, you know, no, I'm grateful. Thank you so much for having me.
Of
And no, it's a
course.
blessing to be here. You know, it's my mission to come and give back and uplift and support. And, you know, like they say, Manch Vegas motto, live free or die, baby. So you better go out. You know the vibes, okay? So live free or die. So I'm living. But I really just love just coming and speaking and just giving my word and just being involved, you know. And we definitely going to be more involved here and more in Manchester and giving back. Yeah, again, thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you.
Y'all could, you know what I'm saying? Make sure y'all follow my book, Behind the Blue Eyes, I'm Here, which is on my website, The Blue Rose, TheBlueRoze.com. Also my Instagram, I am Javonte Rose on all platforms. And my new single, Bon Appetit. Y'all already know it's out right now. If y'all ready to eat, let's go.
And if anybody's in the area, make sure that you head out to My Turn on January 8th
Yes.
as well to support Javonte and everything he's doing. And if you or somebody you know would like to speak on Faith Over Fear, I said we all have a story, we all have a testimony that we can give to share with another person to help each other. You know, it's been an honor. Thank you so much. I'm so blessed.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Check this out, and we'll see you next week.
You know the vibes, baby.